Oh my god, it's been 2 months and then I'm back with another video. Actually no, I think it's just been a month or a month and a half. But we're back with F1 22 career mode. You know what Nick A30 said, never back down, never give up. There is audio issues with this video from the way it was recorded a while back. So yeah, anyways, it's a French Grand Prix this time. It's a track that's no longer on the F1 calendar and it's one that I actually like. And yeah, and the reason for the break is basically because I was on holiday in America. Yeah, so that's just about it. So here we go. Now this is going to be our final quali run. As I show the onboard, it's currently a 1-2 for me and Carlos, with Checo in P3, Lewis in P4, not having a great session after winning the Austrian Grand Prix. Oh, we cut the corner. We're up by a 10th. We went out the first of everyone so we can get a clear track ahead of us. I'm confident enough in my pace to know that we wouldn't have to go for another run. But then I lose the backhand here. Oh my god. Alright. Alright. We're gonna abandon this. There's no point continuing because then these tires are scruffed already, and then you know there's not enough time to go back to the pits and then get them changed for a better pair, better set of tires. So yeah, right now it's provisional pole, but we will see in the results screen who got pole position. Well, yeah, P4, pretty bad. So let's just go to the race now.
Welcome along then to France, one of the great racing meccas, host of the world-famous Tour de France, and widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing in the late 1800s. How far we've come since then, as this year's race gets underway. It's time, of course, for the French Grand Prix. 6 lefts and 9 rights give us a total of 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, and a lap covers an overall distance of 3.6 miles. Average speeds will be somewhere in the region of 142 miles per hour, and they'll be maxing out on the Mistral Straight at around 205 miles per hour. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Maverick, Norris, Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Tsunoda, Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Albon, Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Verstappen, Vettel, Guan Yu Zhou and Daniel Ricciardo. Magnussen and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So I qualified P4, but there's a really great penalty. So yeah, Norris P4, Gasly P5. Start of the formation lap. You don't need to pay attention to the formation lap. And I'm just looking at the timeline right now. I forgot to put a transition, but anyways, I fixed the transition so you wouldn't even know that there was a mistake here. But yeah, we're all lining up on the grid. There's George Russell, who stays on the right hand side, lining up in P2. So P1 starts on the inside line for this specific race. Anyways, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the French Grand Prix. We get a pretty okay start considering that we are on the hard tires. Russell gets kind of a poor start actually. We're going to go round the outside into turn 1, going into 2, and we turn in to George Russell as I pull out my inner Pastor Maldonado, and Lando Norris leads the French Grand Prix with the Red Bulls and AlphaTauris following behind, and there's Yuki Tsunoda dropping all the way from P4 to P7 back into P6. And there's Sergio Perez in P2 as Lando Norris gets the lead of the French Grand Prix. A pretty interesting top 3 right now. And here's George Russell down in P14 after I severely, brutally ruined his race. Dropping all the way from P1 to P14. That's probably my fault. We're still hanging in behind 3 seconds. Is not that bad though. And here's George Russell going down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Now on the outside, getting a much better exit than Sebastian Vettel. But since they are both using the Mercedes power unit, they're both going to have the same speed. And I think Sebastian Vettel is probably using more battery than George Russell, as Russell will try to attack again on the outside. Just not working, as Lance Stroll is actually given a chance to attack. Russell carries more speed on the outside, on the exit of the corner, and he retains P14. But yeah, anyways, so Russell stays in P14. There's not much happening right now on this lap apart from obviously the first lap accident. And here's Lando Norris crossing the line to be P1. Finished lap 1 as first place in the French Grand Prix here. But here, anyway, here's the replay of the onboard. You can see we had a pretty decent start. Russell did not have that good of a start as I expected him to. But as you can see, we go on the outside, we run wide, and yeah, we just cut across his line. So that is on me. I'm going to take the blame for that. Surprisingly, there's no penalties. I mean, sadly, there's no penalties for that. Otherwise, that would have been like 5 or 10 seconds in real life. But anyways, here's George Russell's on board. Yeah, you can see we made an optimistic move around the outside, and we just cut across his line. That's 100% on me right there. Lando Norris view is just coming up in a bit, as you can see now with Lando. Yep, a really optimistic line on the outside, and then yeah, just cutting across him. That could have been avoided on both parties, but I feel like that's mostly on me. Anyways, now on with my onboard, we are going to overtake Kevin Magnussen right before we reach Sector 2. As we go down the inside of the Danish man right there. You're still way too far behind Verstappen 1.1. There's no DRS's lap, so we're just going to have to try and drain the battery. But by the time we reach lap 3, the following lap, we've already caught up to him. And we go down the inside of the final corner and decide to turn on DRS right here. So yeah, a pretty good lap 3. As I might say so myself, as yeah, Verstappen finally overtake Max, and we're gonna continue the climb back into the points. This should be a pretty easy one, considering we have a very good Ferrari. I'm pretty sure Red Bull is actually still the fastest car in the R&D charts. I might have to check after this. But anyways, we're on Ricciardo, and right now we're on Carlos Sainz versus Mick Schumacher, and that should be the easiest thing on earth, as there's a bit of a cut there, sorry. I'm surprised that he's not gaining a lot of speed. Mick will actually have the advantage because that's the outside line. Unless you're going to use your elbows out on the inside, then it doesn't really have an advantage there. But Carlos is just barely hanging onto Mick, but we're going to go back to my onboard on Daniel Ricciardo. Down the inside, we make that move right there, just boxing him out a bit. And now we're gonna go on Guan Yu Zhou down the inside. I think he sort of backs out right there. And as you can see right now, Guan Yu Zhou is gonna make a minor tap to my side pod, causing us to cut the corner. I feel like we probably gained an advantage there, so I let him by for one corner, and he immediately overtook him on the next corner. Yeah, now we're into P15. As why did my thing? Okay, something was wrong with that for a minute. Yeah, here's Alonso Bugna, that's me. And here's Carlos Sainz trying to overtake Mick Schumacher and still not being able to. For some reason. Why are you having such a hard time against Mick Schumacher out of all people? And here's Guan Yu Zhou versus Max Verstappen. Verstappen goes down the inside of Zhou. And that's pretty much it. Ricciardo is looking for his time to shine as well as he gets past the Alfa Romeo, the Sauber of Guan Yu Zhou. And yeah, there's some pretty good action right here actually coming from this. And here's Lando Norris, 1.2 ahead of Sergio Perez, absolutely dominating this right now. Not really dominating, but controlling the pack. And now cutting back to me, we're going to do a dummy on Stroll on the inside and go on the outside. Pretty easy overtake. And now it's my turn to go on George Russell. Again, we meet again in just 5 laps. But yeah, overtake on... It's a massive train right now between P11 and I think P19. But yeah, up ahead is our teammate Carlos Sainz, just trying to get past the Haas of Mick Schumacher. And we're just trying to get past our George Russell, who we had a collision with just now. We're caught up to him pretty quickly as we lose the back end slightly. That doesn't really matter though. What matters is getting before Russell, getting within the DRS range at the detection zone, as we're going to operate DRS right here, opening on the rear wing flap. Nothing's going on because it's a DRS train, but up ahead as you can see, Carlos Sainz will complete the move on Mick Schumacher as seen from my onboard, and that was an illegal move on George Russell. I'm going to let him back. Lance Stroll will try to get us, but no, we take him down the inside. Pretty easy move right there. But we're going to take Russell right before Sector 2. And yep, P13. Actually, no, we're into P13. And now we have to see here what Mick can do with Carlos. But considering that's a 9/10 gap, I think he can barely do much from here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Lance Stroll just pushing backs way outside the track. And getting away with it. Nice. That's a new way of defending, kids. Yeah. We are now on the outside of Mick Schumacher. Going around the outside. Not quite. We're not struggling as much as Carlos though, as we're going to try and cut across his line. And yep, there you go. Got past the Haas pretty easily. We didn't take like ages compared to our teammate trying to get past Mick. And yeah, here we are now on lap number 7. We're now trying to get past our teammate, and it's a battle of the teammates. P9 and P10 is the Williams boys, and P11 and 12 are the Ferraris as we get past Carlos Sainz. That was a great move. I think Carlos actually has DRS because he was behind Albon in the detection zone. And now I'm just fast forwarding later on in the lap. You can see here going on to Sector 2. We're really close behind the Williams of Alex Albon. Now we can probably make a move on this lap if he continues to battle with his teammate Charles Leclerc. Why did I put there? Anyways, Albon has DRS. He's gonna go down the inside of Charles Leclerc, getting the move done, but Charles will go around the outside, now down the inside, retaining and actually maintaining the points position. Actually no, P9, as we are now gonna have a look on Alex Albon going down the inside. Nope, not quite. It's not quite flat out in this section, so we did have to lift a bit, and considering we're behind 2 slower cars, as we do overtake Alex Albon now, costing the points position. And now Charles Leclerc is the main event as he goes into the pits this lap, so there goes the fun in that. Yeah, I think that's Carlos Sainz just behind there trying to get past Albon. That should be pretty easy. Alright, now just looking up ahead in the field, here's Sergio Perez finally closing up to Lando Norris. I think the medium tires are definitely showing their age now. The hard tires are the faster tire at the moment, and since he has DRS, it should be a pretty simple overtake. And still quite impressive for Lando Norris holding the lead for 8 laps. That's about a third of the full race distance. So anyways, actually no, is it a third or is it like 1 out of 3.5? But anyways, yep, he gets ahead of Lando Norris. Easy, very easy pass. And on to lap 11, where this time for the pit window, as we actually climbed up to P2, not really. we just overtook a lot. Overtook a lot of people when they pitted, but it doesn't count. It's meaning Carlos Perez actually make the hard. He actually made the mediums last this long. No, he started on the hard. My bad. Anyways, optimal turn in. It's another double stack, just like in Austria, causing both Carlos, just causing Carlos a 2.2 stop. That's pretty quick. Right now, going on to the pit exit. It's going to be a very interesting exit considering the traffic behind. Let's see where we'll end up. So we're now in P7, P8, P9, P10. So we got undercut by Charles Leclerc, but Alex Albon is still way behind of the pack. Actually, no, we didn't overtake Leclerc at all, but we did overtake Albon. Did they? No, they didn't. Anyways, now just trundling behind. We're gonna try and get past them. But first, we're going to look at Max Verstappen overtaking Daniel Ricciardo. The Red Bull powertrain versus the Mercedes power unit of the McLaren. Pretty easy overtake for Max Verstappen. And now we're just going to look at the rear wing view of Ricciardo right here. Yes, nothing much you can do about that. So Max Verstappen moves up a position on Daniel Ricciardo on lap 12 in the Red Bull. I'm stating the very obvious facts. Anyways, lap 14 on Charles Leclerc, overtaking him another time in this race. Turning on the DRS versus DRS. Ferrari power unit versus Mercedes power unit going down the inside. What a... Yeah, just ignore the blatant corner cutting, which is definitely illegal right there. Number 8, Valtteri Bottas going on Yuki Tsunoda, and yeah, we're gonna overtake Valtteri Bottas right here. That should be a pretty easy move. The final corner here in Paul Ricard's a very good overtaking spot as we actually move him slightly back in. Kind of backed him into Max Verstappen as he gets a good look into Valtteri Bottas inside. He's not fully ahead of Bottas just yet. Bottas fights back into turn 1, now going into turn 2. Getting back past ahead, the Red Bull of Verstappen. And what's Max gonna do? He's either still alongside. No, Valtteri Bottas actually shuts the door on Max. Great defending there by Valtteri Bottas, keeping P9. But that's gonna probably be taken away here quite quickly because he doesn't have DRS at all. And here's me on Yuki Tsunoda. We're gonna find an overtaking opportunity right here on the outside. He doesn't even bother to defend that, probably because he knows we're in a Ferrari and he's in an AlphaTauri. And here we go. There's Max Verstappen finally getting past Valtteri Bottas. So that was good defending by Bottas, but ultimately he probably lost more. But never mind. As up ahead, there is an interesting battle with the Alpines and me as we do a double overtake there because the Alpines are trying to kill each other, which proves that F122 is actually more realistic as we thought, because Ocon and Alonso were trying to kill each other last year. But yeah, we did get past them, and now we're on Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. This should be a pretty simple move again because of our car, and he's in an AlphaTauri, yada yada yada. Overtake. Nope, not gonna use my battery here. There's probably a better use for that later on. Nope, actually can't get quite close to him. We tried to do a dummy move there, but it didn't work. And yep, now we're just gonna have to see if we can get in the DRS zone. And we're actually pretty close to a podium finish because Lewis Hamilton is ahead of us in P3. Should be a pretty interesting finish to this race, as we just have to go off track a bit to back up from Pierre Gasly, because if we didn't, we probably would have ended up in a crash. So here we go, DRS open, using some overtake, but here's Carlos Sainz overtaking Charles Leclerc, because I feel like we're still way behind Pierre Gasly to think about overtaking. But there you go, Carlos Sainz. Nope, Leclerc keeps position. Interesting battle there between the Williams and the Ferrari, my teammate Carlos. And it's going to be 3 wide with the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo joining as well. Ricciardo down the inside. No, not really, as they go back into position. Yeah, that was pretty optimistic there from Ricardo to try the inside there. But anyways, I'm now trying to overtake a certain Frenchman named Pierre Gasly. As we're going to do it on the final corner. Oh, never mind. He's going to come into the pits, which is probably a sign that we should pit too. But I feel like our tires are still feeling great. I honestly don't feel like there's a need to switch them. And let's look at the AlphaTauri pit stop right here. So changing to the hard tires, and yep, they're gonna have a hard time putting on that tires. Interesting. Yep, so now it's time for Sergio Perez to come into the pits, and this is where the gamble begins. I feel like we can probably extend our mediums longer as Perez comes into the pits. I think Perez did that with this stint. No, he didn't. Yeah, no, he didn't. Perez goes on another set of medium tires to put on his Red Bull, and now we are chasing on the podium spot as we exit the final corner, opening our batteries just so that we have a guarantee that we're gonna exit up ahead of Sergio Perez. And yes, we do, and we're gonna cover up his line there immediately so that he doesn't get past. I'm gonna try and defend off Sergio right now, as there's a wide opening down the inside. We shut that door immediately, and yep, no room for Checo to overtake there, but he can definitely get us on the DRS zone because his tires are fresh, but okay, they're not heated yet. That's the thing. What can Checo do? Not much. We're actually keeping him at bay. This car's porpoising a bit, and we're gonna go round the outside here and forcing him slightly wide. Forcing your opponent wide is legal as long as you don't exit the track as well. Anyways, Checo is now 1 second behind us, and you can see that we're having a tire warning on the screen, and my front right is shredding. Same with my front left. All my tires are shredding at the moment. Look at this shot. Nice. Lando Norris actually not that far behind, as right now Checo is gaining really quickly on me. Oh no, as we're gonna blow our front left tire. We do a ka-chow pose if you spotted that. We blow our front left tire just like Lightning Queen. The difference is that we don't have a tongue. And we're gonna end up outside the points as we're gonna be in the pit lane very slow. Why are we going 30 kilometers an hour in the pit lane? I have no clue. Yep. Oh my gosh, extending the tires really did a favor to me in this race, as we're now gonna exit the pits outside the points. We're gonna go into the soft tire just so that you might as well, because we're pitting now very late into the race. Anyways, let's look at the onboard here. So there's Sergio Perez just losing the back end, and then there's me. You can see my tire rubber just splattered a bit onto his T-cam, and we just locked up and fled into the distance. And here's Lando Norris right there. I think if I was Checo, I probably would have made a mistake, because I'll get too scared of a guy in front of me locking up and blowing his tire. Anyways, we exited in P13, so we should. And there's like a huge train of cars ahead of us. We should probably get them soon and get past them. As we are in a Ferrari. Is there a yellow flag? Someone has a DNF. But yeah, as you can see, just a few laps, 4 laps later even, there's another tire warning, and they might blow again. So I may as well just come into the pits and go for another Parasoft. Very, very disappointing end to the French Grand Prix. We're gonna end up last out of all the finishers. After damn near the whole season, minus Baku, finishing a race on the podium. Like every race we finished was on the podium until now, which the only race we finished that is not in the podium is not only outside the points, but is dead last. Like Leclerc and Vettel DNF, they don't count. Anyways, exiting the pits on lap 26. Very, very disappointing Grand Prix for me. It was looking bad at the start, pretty good in the middle phase, and just completely blew apart in the final phase. But here we go. Here's Sergio Perez going past the penultimate corner, now the final corner, in his Red Bull RB18, crossing the line and winning the French Grand Prix.
Perez wins.
Wicked job.
Wicked. Nice job, guys. Well done. Excellent result for the team.
Fantastic, Checo. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really amazing drive. That last stint was on fire. Well done, mate.
And a very depressing end to a race, a very up and down race, but it's okay. The next race is the Hungaroring, and I'm pretty good at Budapest. Anyways, we're gonna cross the line in P18. Yay! I finished the race. Woohoo!
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home. Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team strategies. They got all those things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
The damn podium didn't record, so I have to do this bloody separately. Anyways, save the full replay. Yeah, disappointing result. All around. Alonso P6. Where did Gasly finished P7? That's alright. Lewis Hamilton finished 3rd, and yeah, George Russell, after having a good starting position, just me and him. That's my fault, G. Valtteri Bottas scores his first points of the season. That's nice to see. Yeah, that's Lando Norris' first podium of the season too. Sergio Perez first win. Yeah, he was supposed to win Imola, and then he got an engine failure. -1 point of Lewis Hamilton championship. We finally lose the first position in the championship. Holy shit! But here's Carlos Sainz in P4. Sergio Perez moves up to 3rd, and Russell moves up to 5th. So Hamilton now leads the championship. Ooh. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna wrap that up for today's video. Like, I guess, subscribe as well, and I'll see you for the Hungarian Grand Prix, or if I decide to upload a different video. And yeah, bye.